got it. Apple Watch not. Oh no, it's not what we're talking about. Belts. I got the belts. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. You know me, I'm always fixing stuff around my house, fixing stuff for other people. Today, I've got lawnmower belts for my Craftsman T1600. So if you have one of those and you need a drive replacement, I'm going to do my best to show you how to fix it. Of course, it looks kind of, you know, figure eight inside of a big zero. All right. Anyway, so if you like this video, don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more awesome content. And if you're not signed in, shame on you. Sign in, subscribe. It is now a week later after I replaced the belts. Just wanted to say the lawnmower's been great, but before we get started with the actual, repair of your lawnmower, there's a few things that you need to know. The first one is it's going to take you a while. It's not going to be something that you could just do in 30 minutes. Second thing, in the video, I show me lifting the lawnmower up. So anyway, don't do that. If you're going to do this repair, you should do something like flip it over on the side. Just do not lift it up because it can fall. You're going to need a lot of patience for this, okay? It's not something that you're just going to be able to go out there and do really quickly. So patience is probably the most important tool that you have in your tool belt for this one. The other one, you're going to need an air compressor with an impact, or you're going to need an electric impact. So just keep that in mind. I already had an air compressor and I already had an impact. If you need one of those, I will link different things down in the description below. Again, it's going to be expensive. So if you don't already have those things, don't go rushing out there thinking, oh, I could just pull this bolt out without an impact, because that bolt is actually connected to your engine. So as soon as you start turning it, you're going to crank your engine. So you need an impact to be able to hit it hard to be able to pull that bolt loose. Otherwise, you're just going to spin the engine. Okay, so keep that in mind. That's number one. Number two, something crazy that happened to me is when you take the top belt loose in the back side. So there's two belts. There's a belt that's underneath that connects to the pulleys at the engine. And then there's a top belt that actually is the one that connects to the transmission, I guess what you call it on the lawnmower. Connects to the transmission, actually turns the wheels. So first one is basically like your belt that gets the power from the engine that goes to the transmission. And then the other one is what actually turns your wheels. So the drive belt is the bottom one, the other one is the upper drive belt, and that's the one that connects to the transmission. If you're going to replace the drive belt, get the upper one too, because chances are good that you didn't replace the other one, and you need to replace both of them if you replace them. So that way, in 5 years, if you still have the lawnmower, you could say, oh, I replaced both of them, I'll just go ahead and get both of them. It's not like they're super expensive. If you're on a budget, I completely understand. Sometimes we got to do things that we don't want to do because of that. But I'll try to find the best prices. I'll link the products down in the description below. Of course, prices change and I can't always keep up with all my videos, so just keep that in mind. I know this is long-winded. I'm sorry for talking so much. Everybody complains about it, but I'm trying to get as much information ahead of this actual repair as possible so that you guys can have the best experience, okay? As far as like actual sizes of the bolts, what sizes you'll need, there's a wide variety. You're going to need wrenches to take one of the pulleys loose. Yeah, you actually have to take one of the rear pulleys loose, so that's kind of a pain. But you'll need a set of wrenches. Those were standard, I believe. Mostly everything on this lawnmower is standard. I'm not sure that there's much metric stuff, but there's a couple of sizes in metric that are very, very close to standard, so I did end up using some of those. The other thing, one thing I noticed that was really a pain was that once I replaced this belt and I put the deck back on, I wasn't careful about the hanger arms for the back side of the deck. So if you're sitting on the lawnmower, right, I'm sitting here riding, on the left side underneath the deck, right, there's a hanger arm, and there's a spring that runs from one of the pulleys. And so you'll see it whenever you get into this video, but it actually runs from the frame on the left-hand side all the way back to a pulley arm, or not pulley arm, what am I talking about? It runs from the deck frame to, not the deck frame. See, I'm ridiculous right now. It runs from the frame of the lawnmower to the pulley, and so it's actually what has the tension. It's almost, I guess that would be the tensioner pulley for that whole system. So it's a really strong spring. So to remove that belt, you have to loosen that pulley very carefully because it's got some weight on it, or tension on it. Anyway, what happened was when I lifted my lawnmower up or whatever I did, whenever I put that belt back on, that deck arm got on the wrong side of that spring. So it was a nightmare to get that back on the other side because I ended up using some screwdrivers and crowbars because I did not want to have to take that loose again. So it's a pain. So keep that in mind. Whenever you go through this, just make sure that that arm is on the side of that spring that faces the rear of the lawnmower, because it'll need to be able to drop down enough so that you can hang the deck on that back side. So just, anyway, keep that in mind. I know that's long-winded, but those are all of my experiences. One more thing. In the middle of the lawnmower, there are two pulleys. And you'll see it in my video. I only have to loosen one of them, and then it's the right side, and it actually comes loose. What's really strange, and you may know this, if you know why they did this, let me know, or maybe this came from something else and I'm just stupid. But there was a nut on the back side of that pulley, but the bolt that went through wasn't big enough to thread through, so it was almost acting like a thick washer. So I'm not exactly sure, but whenever I loosened that pulley, I felt something drop down. I was stupid. I loosened the pulley on the left too, and it wouldn't tighten back up, but it wouldn't go anywhere either. So whenever I took that pulley loose, that nut fell down. So if you know where that came from or why they did that, or maybe they just did it to save a few cents, I don't know. But anyway, if you know, let me know down in the comment section below. I hope this wasn't too long-winded. I've been talking for a long time, and I know a lot of you guys are going to complain, shut up and get to the repair. I'm going to do that. Let's get to it. The first thing you're going to want to do is actually remove the battery before you drain the gas. What you want to do is drain the gas tank. The reason is you're going to need to turn the lawnmower over on the side or lift it up and secure it safely, and you don't want to get gas everywhere. Trust me, it's a really bad day if you do that. Apparently I'm pretty horrible with this video camera, but hope you enjoy it. In this section, I'm just taking the deck off. So that's pretty simple. There's just 3 cotter pins, one on the left side in the rear, one on the right side in the rear, and one in the front. And then there is a speedometer. Shoot. Not a speedometer cable. The actual tension cable for the mulching assembly, or the blade assembly. You'll also need to remove the belt from the engine pulley and remove the cable from the mulching assembly. Don't do this. Don't do it. Here, I'm just showing you how the belt is guided through, so pause this as you need, because this helped me throughout the pull process. Once I got the belt back on, I was able to go back and look at this video and the pictures that I took to determine the path that the belt was supposed to take. Here, I've already taken the pulley off that you'll need. This one was actually a 15 millimeter. So do not loosen the top pulley, or if the lawnmower is on the side, do not loosen the pulley that is closest to the engine. The one that you'll need to loosen is the one that is closer to the rear or the close to the left-hand side of the lawnmower. If you are sitting on it, it would be on the left-hand side. If it's up, it will be on the right. Here you can see the location of the original pulley. Sorry, my fat butt is in the way and my fat head, but there's also a nut that came off the back of this, but I don't think it actually threaded into the bolt because it's too big. So it was a little confusing, so if you know where that's supposed to go, let me know. But the location of the pulley is right here in this clip. This is the one you should remove. Flashlights are extremely important for this video and for this job. Make sure that you have one available so that you could see exactly what you're working with, but this one I'm just showing you what's actually going on in this video. Appears that my camera sucks and I forgot to record some footage, but we're doing the best we can. Keep in mind, on this pulley that connects to the engine, it is slotted, so keep that in mind whenever you go to reinstall it. In the next clip, I'm going to show you the pulley that was connected to the top belt. It is the tensioner pulley. I went ahead and removed it. The wrench size for this one was a 14 millimeter. I'm going to speed this clip up a little bit, but you can see here I'm removing the right side pulley that connects to the tensioner and the left-hand pulley. So this would be the one for the upper drive belt. I'm removing the belt. The only way to do that is to remove the pulley, and you're going to need 2 wrenches. On the top, you're going to need a 7/8 for the top bolt, and just underneath the pulley, there's a nut that connects to it. It's not really a nut, but it's slotted because it does turn. It is a 15/16. You'll need those 2 wrenches to remove the nut from the top of the pulley and remove the pulley. So the top is a 7/8. Underneath, it's a 15/16. Once you get the pulley removed, then you'll be able to remove the belt. Just make sure that the new drive belt that you have matches around the same size as the old belt. The old belt will be a little bit longer, but not a lot. It's just going to be stretched a little bit, if you know what I mean. And you're not going to be able to see this, but the next thing we're going to do is take that belt off to the bottom, and we might have to do the same thing with that other pulley. Alright, so for the next part, we're going to have to put this belt on. Okay. Put it on first because then the other one goes over top of it. So, yeah. This is actually the drive belt. This is the belt that goes on underneath. It is for the bottom pulley, and it is the one that connects to the engine. You'll want to put it on first because if you don't, you'll never be able to get it on around the other belt. It is next to impossible to show you the actual footage of putting this belt on, but basically you slide the belt in and throw it around the left-hand side pulley and guide it from that pulley to the front of the vehicle. Just make sure that it's on properly. You can see here, I'm trying to show you through the camera exactly what you'll see. You could never see it with my big fat arms in the way, so this will have to do. But basically, there it is, just wrapped around that left-hand pulley and straight up towards the front of the vehicle. All right. So the next thing is this belt. So we'll go ahead and slide it on the left side. This is the upper belt for the transmission. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you. So it's on the top left. That's easy. Just drag it around this bar, underneath, through, and then pull it over top. The hard part is now that you've taken your pulley off, you got to get your pulley back on. So what we'll do, this is pretty hard to film, right? There's almost nothing that you're going to be able to see. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to do it. So I'm going to take this belt, right? I'm going to drag it over while I put the pulley in. Okay. And I'm going to put the pulley on, and then we'll worry about getting the far side on. You probably can't see really anything, but I figured something is more than nothing, so I'm going to pull this belt over. Hey, if you're having problems, put your deck all the way up. Makes it a lot easier. Okay. This is a huge pain in the butt, but what made it a little bit easier was actually lifting the deck up to the highest setting that allowed you to slide the pulley in between the bar. You'll see it between that bar and the actual pulley where it mounts up. So keep that in mind. And you'll see it's lined up, right? And we'll get the bit back on, or the nut back on. Just to show you, 7/8. Next thing we're going to do is put the front pulley on, right here. That should be fun. So what we'll do, so this one, I just used a 14mm. Why this one's millimeter and the rest aren't, I don't know, but 14mm. And I'm going to set it in there, and I'm going to put like 1 or 2 threads in there. Then I'm going to pull it back, slide the belt over, and tighten it down all the rest of the way. Hey, sponsor me. These are really good. Instead of trying to put the belt on from underneath the lawnmower, what you're actually going to have to do is take the right wheel off and do it from underneath. This job was actually a lot of fun. Not. So I'm trying to provide all the tips and tricks that I can to help you guys. Keep in mind everything that you need, parts, the tools, the belts, everything for this model lawnmower will be in the description below. It ain't going nowhere. So okay. Now on Once you've got the wheel off, then you can safely and easily put the belt back on. You'll need the 14mm wrench, and I find that a ratcheting wrench works fantastic for this. Once you've got it loose, in this clip I've already got the pulley loose, slide the belt over top of the pulley through the guard, put the belt on, then use the ratcheting wrench to secure the bolt back into the pulley. Just be careful and you keep track, because there is a lot of tension on that pulley. Keep track and make sure that you're not letting the bolt cross thread. You can see in the next clip, this is exactly why I say put the lawnmower on the side instead of standing it up like I do. Safety is your number one priority, so don't do the stupid stuff that I do. Definitely put your lawnmower on the side to perform any of this work. I was just trying to give you the best angle and the best shot so that you would have a better experience. In this clip, I'm feeding the belt from the rear of the lawnmower towards the front of the lawnmower, making sure that the belt goes in between and routed properly through the two pulleys in the center of the lawnmower and between any guards. And I'll show you towards the end of this video exactly where that needs to go and what it should look like once the belt is fully installed. So make sure you watch the entire video to see exactly how the belt goes on. I'm trying to save time by speeding up some of these clips because I know this video is extremely long, but in this clip you can see, or what I do remember, is that I could not remember how the belt went. So I actually had to go back and look at previous video footage that I took, pictures that I took. So it's extremely important that you take pictures throughout this entire process. You never know what you might need and when you might need it. Another important part here is that bolt in the middle, I used a 15mm on it. It doesn't have to be torqued super tight, but that was the size that worked for me. Once you've got the belt in between the pulleys and routed the proper way, you'll notice in this video at the bottom there's a pedal, the drive pedal. It was pinned against my special rocks down there, my gravel, and because it was pinned, it wouldn't allow the belt to loosen, so there's actually tension on the belt. So what I ended up having to do was move the lawnmower around and release the pedal so that way I could get the belt around the pulley that connects to the engine. Here I'm just tightening up the bolt that connects up to the engine. Keep in mind that pulley is slotted, but I want you to keep in mind and look at the top of the spring that connects to that tensioner pulley for the top belt, and you'll notice that the hanger arm for the deck is sitting in the wrong location. So before you put yours on, keep that in mind. Make sure that it is sitting below that spring, or you're gonna have.
This is all I'm doing. So that's how you change the belt. Then you just gotta put the deck back on. Put your battery back on. In the description,